Well, hey everybody, how's it going? Just got here, been down the hill, trying to listen in on Butler Family Farm. Glad to see Jerry's back at home and seems to be doing well. Uh, Trying to lurk in the background because we've been celebrating my oldest granddaughter's 26th birthday party. So, how is everything with you guys? Oh, ho, ho, ho. I got in the house there and got warm. I may have to take my sweater off. It's getting chilly outside again, y'all. But it has been absolutely beautiful weather here uh, in LaGrange. And we're enjoying it, guys. We are really enjoying it. Supposed to be really nice all through the weekend. Supposed to be like 85. I'm looking forward to it again. And then it's going to turn off cold, guys. You know how it is. Just can't help it. But my youngest daughter, Brandy, and her children, the whole herd, will be here. Well, they'll be here probably on the 21st, 22nd, but just for the night. And then they're going to go on down to Florida and go to Disney and Universal Studios and all of that and camp down there for a while. And then they're going to go over to her Douglas family Thanksgiving, which is like a big deal for them every year. And then they'll be back up here on the 27th for 27th, 28th, and 29th to visit here. And then I guess they'll head back home. So they're going to be putting a lot of miles on themselves in that camper. Glad to see everyone that's going to come in tonight. Hopefully we'll get somebody in here in a few minutes. We are just getting started, guys. Just getting started. It's a wonderful night, though. Beautiful weather out there. Beautiful weather out there. Sitting here in my pajama bottoms now. I done went and got comfy. So, what has the day been like for y'all? Those little, I'm calling them jelly beans or jumping beans because they are just so tiny right now. And every time you touch the straw, you look in there where the fur is she's pulled, they'll jump. So I've been calling them jumping beans. They're cute as they can be. I can't wait till they get their little eyes open and all their hair on them good so that the grandkids can play with them while they're small. Hold up through Christmas, you know. They won't be able to keep them out long because they'll still be kind of too little. But the mama is real laid back, doesn't seem to bother her a bit. So the grandkids will be able to play with them here in a couple more weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So that will be fun. And I've got a little monster scratching me on my leg right now. It's old Allie cat. Hey, Allie, what are you doing? Allie's wants the attention. She climbed up on the back of the chair a while ago. Little heathen. I have a big crate that I take when I go with me to the animal sale, just in case I decided to buy something. Whew, excuse me. And I had it sitting out there on the side, and I looked over there, and there she was climbing up the metal on it to climb up. We've been letting her go outside a lot because she's got to get used to being outside. She will be an indoor, outdoor type of cat, mostly outdoor, I hope. She's doing really good, guys. Super good about going outside to potty. She's learned the pet door like it wasn't nothing. She's tinkled twice in the house in her litter box since she's learned to go outside, but I have to close it up at night. Well, I put her in a crate at night so that I don't have to worry about any, you know. Oh, I don't know why all the yawning's going on, guys. But where the dang, my mind is getting me, guys. Sorry about that. I don't want any like hawks or anything like that to get her. She's gonna be out there enough on her own when she gets a little older, but you know, she's still little, and a hawk or owl or whatever could snatch her up like it's nothing now with her running around out there. Even though she does play dead better at night. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning, guys. I have no clue. But It's been a long day. It's been one of them days. I didn't want to get up this morning, guys. I was snuggled down in that covers good. But I had to go to the bathroom, and the more I kept trying to put it off, the more I thought about it. So once I got up, that was it. I was up. I haven't had anyone come in tonight. I don't know what the problem is. I hope I set this thing up right. Let me see. I might can go back and edit it and see what I did wrong. Let me go on down through here and see if I can figure it out. Did I do anything? Visibility. It can be public. And let's see. Da 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 da. Da da da. Lord, I see some stuff that I don't even know what to do with. We're back. Still don't have anybody in here. 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes. I don't know what the problem is. That's just the way it is, guys. That's the way it is. So we will see what goes on. Out here. See if anybody pops in. If they don't. Oh, there's Jovita. Hello, Jovita. How are you, dear? And happy birthday. I know it's a day or two late. I meant to send you a text and tell you happy birthday, and I just forgot to. I think I saw it on Jared's too, and I commented on his, but I meant to send you a personal text, and I just forgot to. Hey, Jared. Oh, I can't quit yawning, guys. I don't know what the heck. Got to get over that stuff happening. Get some sugar in me or something. Anyway, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be somebody else pop in here in a minute or two. I know Wheat's planning on it because she called me a little while ago and asked me, was I going to go live? So today is Madisyn's birthday. Yes, I thought it was the 15th. I knew it was either the 15th or the 16th, and I didn't go back and look, but I knew it was right around there. But anyway, I hope you had a wonderful birthday, Jovita. And you can expect a card in the mail. And Jerry, how are you feeling, by the way? I didn't come in time. Today is my oldest granddaughter's birthday, and we were celebrating it, and I had it on, but I had it cut down where I couldn't hear what was being said because we were in the middle of seeing the new great grandbaby was there, and he was upset, and all of us was trying to see what was wrong with him, and then he had upset stomach, and then he had poopies, and you know how that goes when you got from 0 to 70. 2 months to 70 out there together. You got a lot going on. Oh, there's New Horizons. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Anyway, but yeah, I was talking about those little fuzzy bunnies, the little ones. I call them jumping beans because if you just look in there and watch, you'll see the little hay and the hair go doop, 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 doop. And then little head will pop out. And they got their eyes open yet. They're so cute, guys. But they're getting their fur pretty doggone good, and they have really grown just in the last less than a week. Man, it's unreal. I will let everyone know what things are in the next few weeks. Okay, cool, Jerry. I hope everything goes good. We still got you in our prayers here. But we've been rolling around here trying to get a little bit more done. Covered up all my cabbage, lettuce, and plants like that. I was afraid that the frost might get with straw, just regular pine straw. I know that's right. Too young to give it up now. That's kind of the way I feel, Jerry. I understand. We're going to hang in there. And It's like I told my kids, I said, I'm going to harass y'all just as long as I can. Of course, I said I had hot chocolate. And if y'all see any smoke in the background, it's because I burned my hot chocolate. I brought it, I had some left over. And so I brought my cup back up here and I was going to have hot chocolate. Oh, hot chocolate may be what's made me sleepy, guys. But anyway, I was going to have hot chocolate. Another cup of hot chocolate. Well, I put it on the stove and then I ran into the living room to do something and I forgot about it and I didn't come back in here till it was burning. Not on fire, but it was burning up in the pot. I said, oh man. So there went my rest of my hot chocolate. I wouldn't go make no more. There's Miss Tamara and David. How are you at Heartland HQ? How's it going? There's Barb with Jesus is Lord. How are you? Good to see you too, hon. Yeah, trying to set this thing up so anybody could see it, but only members could comment. And I think that may have been an issue there to start with because I had to go back in and edit it and set it up, redo it because it was set up that only members could come in. And I think all of you guys are members anyway, but somebody else had tried, I guess, and it kicked them out. So anyhow, I reset it up where anybody can watch, but only the members can comment. Hope I got it set up right now. Well, we've been rolling around here. You know how it is. Had to take down a pine tree today. It had a bad spot on it. And it was getting pretty bad. It had not all the leaves, all the needles on it had not turned brown, but it was looking pretty rough. And it was right next to the road that goes across my fencing. And so we pulled it today. I had the tractor out there and backed it up and put a lot of tension on it with a rope. And then Joey cut it and it came down real close to one of the chicken houses, but it didn't hit it, thank goodness. And so we came in and had lunch. And then I told Joey, I says, if you want to cut the limbs loose, you can. And I said, I'll pile them up and then we'll drag them to the back. So we put them in a big pile back there in a bare spot in the one of the lower paddocks. And then we'll burn them after they all get dry, the ones, what we don't cut up when we do cut up a tree like that. And, you hate to burn pine in a fireplace or insert like that because it crissos up the pipes. But, that's how it goes. So I have not gotten up on this roof since the time I almost flew off of the roof. I went up and cleaned the roof and run the brush down the fireplace, to sweep out the sweeper broom down the flue or whatever to make sure it was cleaned out good, and slipped. And on this tin roof, it was a little bit damp and I was gone. There was nothing I could catch. And my tennis shoes were sliding like crazy and I was just coming off, and Joey just happened to stick his hand up just in time and it caught me. It bent the gutter, but it caught me just enough to where I could get gripped back on again and get stopped. So I said, holy cow, guys, I was not expecting that. Well, hey, Wheat, got everything going. You and Charlie got your popcorn, your soda pop, and everything going. Such a wonderful program we put on every night. Yep. So we're just trying to get things going. It's supposed to be really nice and warm through this weekend, I think, and then next week it's supposed to get cold again. So I've got all the plastic up, to where it's not suffocating the little bunnies and things now. But then I got to have it to where I can put it right back in place come when it does get really bad out there. So anyway. Hey, yeah, it's free. That's for doggone sure. Hey, you might learn some new languages. You just listen hard enough. Joey and I were trying to watch a movie the other night, and it was made in Australia. And, they have that heavy Australian accent. Well, they were speaking really fast, and they had the accent too. And Joey he says, turn it up. I can't understand them. Well, the background music was way too loud for one thing. So it was drowning out the accents or the words. And then they were speaking so fast that we just wasn't catching it. We'd have to listen to it 2 or 3 times, figure out what they were saying. And by the time the movie was about halfway through, Joey says, I'm going to bed. He said, I don't know what's going on. I finally figured it out, but it took me being real still and real quiet and playing something back 2 or 3 times to figure out what they were talking about. But you know how that goes. That's exactly right. Lordy, lordy. But, yep. So we are just kicking back, guys, just kicking back and seeing what's going on in the world. And it was good to see the new grandbaby today. And Madisyn had a birthday. Let me see if I can pull that picture up right quick. I'll show y'all her. If y'all can see it. 26. She says she can't decide what she wants to do. Whether she's going to stay here, she's going to go back out of town next spring or whatever. You know how since she graduated from high school, she's been doing these here, there, and everywhere working jobs, and they had given her a position, and then he had asked her if she'd come back. If she goes back again, I think it would be her 4th year at the Outer Banks. And so they've already asked her if she'd come back again. And it would be quite a jump in pay. So I don't know if she'll come back or not. She just hasn't decided. She's 26. She's a good bit older than most of the crowd that comes in during that time. But anyway, that's just the way it goes, And right now she's got a job that she really kind of enjoys. She's been working at a thrift store, and she's the one that does all the pricing on the name brand things and the items that you come in, and some of them you have to bid for and all, so she has to do all the research on that kind of stuff and all. So she's kind of enjoying that, because she's all into clothes anyway. Believe me, she can never live tiny because she has so many clothes. When she lived in the camper, it had a whole bunk room in the back, and we had taken out all the bunks, and it had a half bath back there. And we took out the half bath, and that whole thing was closets, and it still wasn't enough. She still had closets full of stuff at her mom's house, and her car still had boxes of clothes in it. This kid loves to dress, and she dresses. She's got all kinds of tastes, but she's more into the more vintage look now. But I guess the 80s look, the big-legged pants and the poofed hair. And she's got that short shag look and tight shag look or whatever it is. Got her hair cut like that right now. And halter tops, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun to watch them dress like we did back when we were kids. When I was a teenager, young and crazy and wild, you go back and you see all the stuff that we did. They're just a lot smarter than we are at it now than we were back then. Yeah, that's right, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah. But, it's just kind of fun to go back and look. Poor little Haley. Cohen's had a stomach ache this past week and had diarrhea all week, so he's going to the doctor tomorrow. They told him that until he had it for 5 days, that they didn't consider it enough for them to have to worry about. So he's had pooping every time he eats, or about every hour or two now for a week. Poor kid. Well, for 4 days. So tomorrow's 5 days, so she's taking him in. She made an appointment. She's taking him into the clinic so that they will do something. Poor little youngin's little butt's all raw. You know how it goes. It doesn't matter how much of the Desitin or the butt stuff, butt rub, or whatever it is that you put on babies' butt ends. If when they got the poops all the time for that much, they're going to get raw. So poor little thing is raw, and so that makes it hurt when he does poop. And his little stomach hurts, it cramps up. So he was just, a little upset tonight, bless his heart. So, but that's just the way it is, with babies. We all go through that. And so, and when he's don't feel good, he wants his mama. He didn't want none of us holding him or playing with him. we're still treating him like he's a little dog because he's only just turned 2 months old, guys. So he's cute as he can be. You talk about a fat little thing. He went from 7 pounds something. He's over 12 now already. 2 months. He's rolling. He got them little fat jaws and fat cheeks, or chunky cheeks, or whatever it is you want to call it. That's the funnest part of love little babies with the little fat cheeks. They just look so cute. And they get them little fat legs and arms, and little hands are swelled, look like they're just fingers are just sticking out of little bulbs. They look so cute when they're chubby like that. Anyway, so he's gonna be a little chunk, it looks like. Anyway, not a whole lot has been going on here at our house. Other than biggest thing was me burning up my chocolate milk a while ago, guys. That was a thing. Poor old Casper was standing in the doorway looking at me like he wouldn't even come in the kitchen. He knowed something was wrong. He's like, Mama's fixing to burn the house down. Of course, the cat was in here. Allie was in here earlier, but she was climbing up my britches leg, and I had to knock her down because she was poking them claws in pretty doggone good. So I had to get her off of me, and she's mad at me now, I guess. She's gone back in the living room to harass Joey. She's still on her spazzy part. She gets the zoomies about 100 times a day. What's up, 29? How's it going? Gary, how's it going? What's up? Just killing time here. Rolling through the night, rolling through the evening. I don't know about you guys, but at the first of the month, I live on my Social Security check, and what money I've got, I'm not touching so far my retirements. I'm just living on my Social Security. And had money. I've got money in retirement, but right now it's working for me. So I'm trying not to touch it unless I just have to. So anyhow, so first of the month when my little check comes in, I like to go around and pay everything. My utilities and cable or internet and whatever. So anyway, I can't go to we have Spectrum internet, which is it's called Spectrum. I don't know any more than that. It used to be Charter, and they swapped it over to Spectrum. So anyhow, Spectrum bought us out, I guess. And so we went up there. You can't go in the office and pay your bill now, even though they have a kiosk in there. Does that make any sense? They have a kiosk in there, and you can just pay your bill. Well, they got it unplugged or shut down and won't allow you to use it, and you can't pay your bill in there anymore. You have to either go online or call them to pay your bill. I've never heard of any such. I said they're going to have a lot of people, because a lot of people, especially the elderly people, don't have a clue how to go online or to do all the stuff that they want them to do. And it's like me, I've got so many doggone passwords that I can't remember what password goes to what. And you write the stuff down. Well, it's there for everybody to see. You save it in your phone. The person that finds your phone can hit the emergency to open the dang thing, and then there's all your information. If you get hacked and somebody hacks your phone, there's all your passwords to everything right there, So, it's just crazy. But anyway, so right now we're doing pretty good, just the two of us, because our home is paid for. Thank God for that. We had enough sense to pay those things off quite a while back. So, the main things, we don't have any, we use credit card, but we pay it off every month. So we don't pay any interest rates or anything like that. Yes, I try to write them down too, but then I get confused, and then they'll say, you got to swap them out every so often, especially like the bank and whatever, or they recommend you do. And when you swap them out, then you can't use that same password for like a year or something, and I forget what password that I've changed it out to, or, and I forget to write it down. So it's just always something. I've got a book full of passwords from all the things between retirements and being able to go in and look how I've got my assets, I guess, how I've got it, uh, different things that I've like, so much for Procter and Gamble, and so much for Duracell, and so much for what, I'm trying to think of what all, overseas or foreign stocks, this and that and the other, different, just different sections that I put so much, this percent in, this percent in, this percent in. And so far I've done real good with that. Of course, I would never be one to tell y'all, hey, this is what you ought to do, because as soon as you tell somebody that's what they ought to do, that's when they pay it. That's when they all of that crashes and they lose everything they got. And it's your fault. You know how that goes. So anyway, I've done real good so far, and so I don't want to hit it unless I just have to. I could start drawing off of it a percentage every month, but if we don't have to, we'll just leave it in there in case something does come up. You never know when you'll have to have a new roof on your house, or God forbid your car tears up, like we just had to put a motor in the old Avalanche out here. You just don't know. So doggone motor was $9,000. Holy cow. But it's just unreal, the prices of things now. I used to laugh at Joey's mom and dad. They'd have somebody come over and do something, and then they'd tell them how much it was, and they'd just look at them like they'd lost their mind. But, you just don't realize how much stuff costs just in the last 15 or 20 years. And, once the older you get, the faster that time seems to fly by, guys. And so it just seems like it takes forever. Let's see. I've heard it's best to have an emergency account and to keep it like pay in. Yep, 3 years paying it. They say that that's what you ought to do. And you should always have at least 3 months of pay in your checking account for your regular bills in case something were to happen. Well, heck. Hey, there's Darren. Hey, Darren, how are you, hon? Glad to see you. Come in. Not a whole lot going on here. We're just talking about getting old and retirement and all the other stuff going on. Yeah, that's what they say, that you should have 3 months of whatever your household bills are in your regular checking account in case something should happen. Well, doggone. 3 months, there's a lot of people that can't make their bills week to week. I mean, my husband had a guy that he used to have to loan him $20 every Thursday. He'd get it back on Friday. I said, why don't you just, when he gets his check, won't you say, okay, give me $20? And then when he wants the $20 back, you can say, okay, here's your $20. The next time he gets paid, give me $20. Because he's always having to give the guy some money. They just can't budget or whatever, But that's something you have to learn the hard way. I don't know how much I will need in retirement to pay bills. That's exactly it. That's, we don't spend a whole lot of money either. We do go out and eat more than we should. We all like to eat around this house. But we don't have... Your 3 months has 4 legs on them, and they're running in the field. You guys will be eating good. You may not have any electricity. You may have to cook it outside on a fire pit, but you'll be eating good, right, Jerry? You basically eat out every meal. I understand that. I do understand it, especially when you're still working. And if your wife's still working, both of you working, by the time you come in, you just don't have time to run in and try to cook, and especially when you got animals and farm and stuff like that to look after. You just don't have time to run in, keep the house up, everything else that needs to be done in the house, and try to cook a real decent meal too. I just don't understand it. Well, 5,000 a month seems like a lot to me. We probably live on I don't know, 3,500 a month, between Joey and I both. But like I say, neither of us have any bills, but we spend a lot of ours on upkeep because we had 3 places between my place and his original place. And then now he's inherited his mom's place. It's a lot to keep up. You're keeping up barns and, homes. And in fact, he's got a problem over there now. We're trying to find a plumber that is small enough to go up underneath her house. And they may have to actually dig a trench out under her house to figure out what is leaking. We don't know if there is a leak, but it's condensating or something. There's money there. Since the stock market crash of '08, I don't trust banks nor their to protect saving mayonnaise jar under the bed is safer. I don't know if I'd put it under the bed. That's the first place everybody looks. But you know what? I could go and bury the doggone thing. Get my pillow on my butt here. I got a bony butt, guys. I put a pillow in the chair. What can I say? Oh, but if you bury the stuff out in the yard, you could. I don't know if I'd remember where I buried it after a while if I didn't have to have it every week or two. That's how all these people, they die off, and families aren't told where they buried the money, and 20 or 30, 40, 50 years later, they find it. You see all these stories about that. People that die off and people that find money in their homes later on after the house has been sold 2 or 3 times. It's just wild. I have a place in my house that I always said looks like it would be where you would store some money or hide some money, but I've never checked it. It's just that one out of place board. And I've thought about it several times. I've went over and looked at it, but it's been nailed on there with bigger nails or whatever. So it don't just pop off easy. So I guess it's not. Maybe something happened right there and they just put another board over it to cover it up or something, and it just never was done right. I don't know. When your sister-in-law passed away, your brother found money all over the house. A lot of that happens. I had a great uncle that he went to buy him a new car. He went to the Cadillac dealership. And so he walked around in overalls all the time and old beat up shoes because he had cows and, he just didn't care. And they laughed him out of the Cadillac place and made him mad. So he went somewhere else and bought, maybe he got to get a Lincoln, and the Lincoln place run him off or laughed him off. So he went and bought a Cadillac. Anyway, after that, he bought a new Cadillac every 2 years. So I just thought it was so funny because he was the same way when he got old and started getting Alzheimer's. We went over and went through his house. And I mean, like in Band-Aid, you used to have the little canned Band-Aid boxes. In the Band-Aid boxes would be $200 or $300. I mean, you couldn't throw away nothing inside of books, magazines, in the bathroom where the towels go, just everything. 25,000 that they had in savings, and it just disappeared. That might have been back when they had the all that Bernie Madoff stuff. You know how that goes. There's a lot of people that had thought that they had their money secure, and the people that they were trusting to handle their money were stealing it. And, that's a really hard thing to, so many people get screwed out of their money too like that. I hope to God that never happens to me. I'm so stingy and tight with my money. I'm so stingy and tight with my money. My ex-husband used to say that it squeaks, that I could make change. I'd want change from quarter. Grandfather used to give one to each of the children every year at Christmas and always had $1,000. Wow, your grandfather had lots more money than my grandfather, hon. If you got $1,000. They blamed it on the stock market crash. Well, it could have went away like that, because when all that dropped back then, I did not touch my money. I left it alone. And within that same year, it had built back up and had more money in it. So I was real glad. A lot of the people that I worked with took their money out and it was just gone and lost. So I got lucky just not touching mine and leaving it in there. I said, I'm young. 90% of it wasn't money that I put in there at that time anyway. At that time, I wasn't too concerned about it. I wasn't realizing how quickly 2025 or 24 was going to come around and I was going to be on retirement money or Social Security. So anyway, yeah, I had counted on using about 1,500 to 2,000 a month extra on top of my Social Security. Um, so far I've not touched it, so that money is in there. He was another man that walked around in overalls. Yep, you have to watch them old fellas with overalls that look like they just, ain't got a pot to pee in it or a bucket to throw it out in, because them's the ones that's usually got piles of money thrown back somewhere, hid back, penny pitch back in the corner. Them ones that's trying to impress you with them fancy suits and all that smooth talking is the ones that usually don't have a whole lot, and they trying to figure out how much you got. It's the way it's always been to me anyway. But like Uncle Kurt, I mean, we found enough money for him to buy a brand new car and to pay off all of their medical bills. His wife had a lot of medical problems, and so they paid off their medical bills, and what was left, they bought him another car with. Right there at the end before he got in bad shape, and then he started getting the Alzheimer's started kicking in. Anyway, kept a roll of cash in each of his front pockets and said he never knew when he was going to come across a deal. That's exactly right. My uncle did that. He had them up here in his bib pocket. Plus, he'd have money in his wallet too. He'd have several thousand in his wallet at all times, and he'd had money in his bib pocket, and then in his old cassette player in his pickup truck. So I used to have the old nine things. Well, then he upgraded and he had an old cassette player. I had money wadded, folded in half and stuck in there too. So there's no telling how much money he had in his old truck that he went down to work the cows with. Had a neighbor who always poor mouth about being broke, but she had food falling out of the freezer every time she opened it. You can be piss poor, but you can be money poor, but you can still have lots of groceries. I figured that out a long time ago. Being poor and starving are two different things, because just because you don't have extra money to spend or don't have money for the essentials does not mean that you have not worked all year and have groceries canned or frozen up to get by for this time of year and these bad times in your life. Yeah, use it up. That's exactly right. Make do. Yep, my dad used to say, just be glad it's your skin and not your clothes. Your skin to grow back and your clothes won't. When we get hurt or skin a knee or get cut on the wire or something around here, or get whacked in the head with something. Yeah. Yep, never be rich in money. That's exactly right. I feel like I'm rich, but it's rich from my family and my friends that I do have that I feel like I could depend on. You know how that goes. You don't have very many real true friends that if something happens to you, you could depend on them every time. Believe me, you get down, just like when I had the breast cancer. When you get down, you find out who your true friends are and who will be there when you need them and who you will not be there. And you would be surprised at the ones that will not be there for you, will not come around, will not help out with looking after the kids or the grandkids or whatever your issues are, take you back and forth to the doctor's office, or when they won't let you drive, things like that. You find out who are your true friends. And I'm talking about people that are where they could take you. You know what I'm saying? You feel rich because you don't live in New York or California. Ain't that the truth? I'm just real proud I'm still out in the country, guys. I'm still able to be country and still be able to have my animals. I get along much better with my animals anyhow than I do with people. I don't know about y'all. But I can talk to them animals any which way and tell them all kinds of stuff. They're not going to go blab it to anybody. Oh, Lord, Lord. God bless Texas. All right. I don't know about Texas. Never lived in Texas, but I think it would be a nice place to go. It's got some beautiful areas out there. I thought about being in Texas a few times, but ended up with this place and, had a good job that had good insurance and all. And I just could not never give that up and ended up buying this land here. And you know how you do. That's exactly right. Southern by the grace of God. Yep, people don't realize how lucky they are to be born in a country like this. All these people that whine and complain about the things that they don't like, they need to look how it is in other countries, and then they'll figure out real quickly that things are not what you think. Not what it all looks good. It all looks like butter and gravy when you're at another when you're looking at it from that side of the wagon. But so, as they say, grass is always greener on the other side. I guess it is. Joey said the other day he had to get Sarah out of the fence. She rarely ever sticks her head through the fence and gets stuck, but she was stuck in the fence one day. I think it was Sunday morning he had to get her out. Might have been Saturday morning, but he had to get her out of the fence, and that was rare. And Joey says he calls him smut, but Frankie was right behind her. I said, uh-oh. Frankie was just like, hold on, baby. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, guys. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. But it's something else. You just never know in this old world what's going to happen. Okay, thank you, Belt Loop Gary. Appreciate it. I call him 29. Good to see you. Glad you came in. Hope you do get back. We'll see you later. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on with us. We are just piddling and killing time and just seeing what goes on. But like I say, when the grandkids get down here in a couple of weeks, I am really hoping that the little bunnies will be I hope they'll be about 3.5, 4 weeks old. I'm hoping they will be where the kids can hold them and play with them and that kind of stuff. Right now they're too little for us to even think about that they might get into. But anyhow, it's so fun to look at them and think about it. But still got that. Oh, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Still got that burned chocolate milk smell. I had to soak my pan because it had started scorching to the bottom of the pan. So I got it soaked and got the stuff out of it without it burning it up. So, Darren, what's going on with y'all? Are y'all ready for the meetup? I hope the weather is better this coming time. We won't have that rain and stuff that we had the year that I was there. It drizzled quite a bit, but we had a good time. The kitten is doing good. No, she's not calmed down one bit. I think she's worse than she was. That little thing she is a wild cat. I mean, I'm wondering what she bred with. What her mom bred with. The mom might have thrown her butt out in the middle of the road and said, here, maybe somebody else will deal with you. Because she is sure enough wild. Every once in a while she'll come in there and she'll just be so gentle. And I was laughing. Joey told me that a couple of times in the morning he has not gotten her out of her crate yet, and that he'll be in there watching the news and having the weather turned down real low to see what's going on weather-wise. And so he's been laughing about it, and he said that he can hear her little motor running over the TV because she's purring to let him know that, hey, I'm over here, come get me out. But she is doing magnificent about when you do get ready to go, you pick her up and put her in her crate. She stays right in there. She don't screech and meow and carry on wanting out. I mean, she's really good about it. I mean, she's super smart. I mean, I can tell how smart she is. I've never really been a cat person. My dad was, he was just, he made us throw those kittens off the back porch and he shot them. So after that, I just never did get real attached to cats. I guess that was it. We always had plenty of dogs, and he tolerated the dogs around. For some reason, he didn't like the cats. I don't know what the deal was with that, but he was just a mean, hateful, evil person is all I can say. Oh, snow 3 years ago during the meetup. Now, I wouldn't mind it snowing. That would really make it that much more special to me up there. Of course, I wouldn't want to be out on the road with any snow up there and all those curves and mountainous roads. I wouldn't want to be up on the mountain having to drive down it during that time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping I get to do that this coming year. Hope nothing comes up. This past year I had something come up and I didn't make it. But anyway, and they've already set up the one for Texas there. So if I do get to go and do the Texas one, I'm going to probably fly down and rent a car and just get a motel or maybe rent a cabin there, because it was just too hard on me driving a 12 hours straight through, dragging the camper, and then the campground was expensive. It'd been a Corps of Engineer type run campground. It would not have been as expensive, but I probably could have rented a cabin as cheaply as it was what it cost for me to do it may not have been, but I mean, it was almost $300 for me to stay. Of course, now I came early. I came a couple of days early, guys. I think I got there on Wednesday night. And so I stayed Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and left on Sunday. So I guess I had an extra day or two there that I would not have had if I'd have just flew in. But I'm probably, if I come to the one, and hopefully I will, the one that they have there in Texas this coming year, that I will do it differently. I'll probably just fly in. I use my credit card and use my points, and then I use those points to get around and do things. Casper was just in here. I guess he decided he's tired of listening to me jabber, so he walked on. He said, "I'm getting up and leaving. You're boring." He's been sitting there with his ball in his mouth now for about 30 minutes, and I ain't throwed it. I ain't took it and thrown it. So I guess he figured I'll go see if Dad will throw my ball. Poor dog. But you just don't know. If you ever throw it, you're stuck, boy. And for years and years, he was determined that his ball was up on the mantle, because when he was little, when we got tired at night, we'd take his ball and put it up on the mantle. And so he lost his ball and he couldn't find it, and he'd look up there at the mantle and just stand there and look at it and turn around and whine to us, and he'd look back at the mantle like, "Get my ball down." His ball was gone. Anyway, but yeah, that's just the way it goes, guys. I can't believe it's flown by as fast as it has already. Come here, Tootie Pootie. He's under the table now, so I guess he's back, but he don't have his ball. He must have took it and put it up. He puts it in his food bowl, guys. It's so funny. So you know how that goes. He cannot decide. This is the way it is around our house. We're all kind of slow. Old or slow one, we ain't figured out which. And I've always said my brain scan or spans of brain is not but about an inch long, and it's deteriorating quick. What's left? Those two nerves that are left, they're about fried too, guys. But yeah, we've just been trying to get everything going. Hopefully those little bunnies will be cute and ready to go when the kids all get here. And then after that, I'll take them and sell them as to the sale, or advertise them and sell them so that they will go for good gifts for kids. Because these are expensive bunnies. They're not like bunnies like you eat. They're not my eating bunnies. The ones that we have are the Jersey wool bunnies. So the ones that had the babies anyway. And hopefully we'll have some more coming up pretty soon. I don't know what the problem is. I put the butt with my females now. I put up with one of the females twice, and I still have not seen him doing that dying cat thing that they normally do. So I'm not real sure he did his do. I mean, he did the deed, but I don't know if the deed connected. You know what I'm saying? He's a very big bunny. So I may have to take one of the smaller bucks and put it in there with them to see what we get. Was hoping we could mix the giant bunny with the regular size eating bunnies. So we would have a bigger bunny, but not the bigger bone structure. I don't know if you guys know what I'm trying to say. More meat per pound or more meat per bunny without the big bone structure of those Jersey Giants, not Jersey Giants, but you know what I'm talking about, the huge, huge bunnies that are out there. I think, dang, I can't even think of his name. Brent, I think they raise those great big, huge bunnies. And he has like thousands of them. You know, they must really dress a lot of bunnies and sell them or something. I don't know exactly what they do with them, but surely they must sell them or something. Um, and I don't even have a clue what you would charge for bunnies if you dress, you know, and it's really not something you're supposed to do. But, you know, it's the way it goes. But we're going to be getting out of here very shortly, guys. Shirley and Wheat say they're going to call it a night. It's time for Charlie's nap, time for Charlie's walk, his last debut with the outside world before nighttime. Hopefully he doesn't get Wheat up in the middle of the night, especially when it's getting this cold, Wheat. But you and Charlie have a good night, and we will see y'all later. Love you, girl. Dinner served, dishes cleared, happy man. Sorry you're running late. You're not late and never late around here. If you got a happy man and you done the dishes and everything, you're doing good, girl. Doing better than me. Doing better than me. You have a great week too, and we will see y'all later. And you know, I have not said it lately, but I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. If y'all have not already, be sure and tell Jovita happy birthday. Her birthday was on the 15th. And so we want to make sure she gets recognized for all the work that she does, helping people in the background on their YouTube channels. And, you know, just to let y'all know how much I appreciate y'all and how much I love y'all and how much y'all keep me going here. You know, not doing a whole lot of putting out, but anyway, what I do, y'all will see. And I may not put out as much as I was trying to there for a while. But anyhow, and y'all watch out for all the stuff that's going on out here in the world. Be careful and be safe. There's just a lot of craziness, a lot of drugs, a lot of evil in our country. You know, when they started taking God out of everything, it really allowed a lot of evil and the devil in our country and in around where we are. But let's hope that things will get better. We're praying for that every day. Y'all be sure and bring Jerry in your prayers from Butler Family Farm. He's had a lot of problems with his heart lately. Just got out of the hospital last few days. And so y'all check him out. And hopefully we will see y'all all next week. Good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise and knock out the internet again. So we love y'all, and we will see y'all all next week. We're going to get on out of here. Bye.